Good morning, all.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we are now discussing over the complex model. In complex models can be well defined when the projects are under uncertainty conditions, and we are not sure about the outcome of the projects. The complexity model can be used to identify the problems and come to the best solutions. Based on this, we have two frameworks. One is Cenefin framework and Stasi matrix framework. In Cenefin frameworks, we have five methods to identify the problem and to get to the solution. In Cenefin framework, we have this is a conceptual framework where we identify the problem and solution can be identified through cause and effect. Means what is the cause for the problem and what is the what it can have, and we can come to the solution. In Cenefin framework, we have the obvious cause and effect relationship. There we are sure about the problem and solution we have, and we can make a decisions over that. And in complicated relationship, we are we are known about the unknown facts, and we are not sure.
It's okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
In obvious cause and effect relationship, there we have a problem and we have a solution, and we are sure about the solution, so we can make a decision in that. In a complicated relationship complex model, we have known unknown facts, and exact answer is available with us. Correct answer is available with us. Here we can analyze the situation and we make the decisions. In complex relationship model, where we are unknown about the facts and we are not sure about the solution also. So we sense the environment and situations and respond accordingly. The style uses here are emergence practice and allow. If we are using the one solution at one time, we cannot use the same solution at the next time for the same problem.
Which one is this one?
This is the complex time. In chaotic type, we are unclear about the solution and problem, and we have a lot of confusion during the projects, and we are not aware about the solution, how to approach the solution. In that situation, we may divide the problem into situation, and we can have a solution with the here the first step is to stabilize the situation and bring the solution from chaotic to complex situation. In disorder relationship model, there is no much clarity about the situation, hence it's may requiring breaking models into smaller parts. Sorry, I was a bit confused. In chaotic relationship model, the cause and effect are unclear. There is too much confusion to understand the situation for the proper action. Hence, the first step here is to stabilize the situation and bring the system from chaotic to complex situation. In disorder relationship model, there is no much clarity about the situation. Hence, it may require breaking of the model scenario into smaller parts whose context is linked with one of the four contexts. In Stasi matrix framework, which also follows the Cenefin framework, but it looks at two dimensions to determine the complexity of the project. Based on the uncertainty levels, then the project can be defined as a simple, complicated, or chaotic. The relative uncertainty functions what here is the requirement of the deliverables and the uncertainty of the technology that can be used to create the deliverables.
Great, John. Thank you so much. Any questions? All is good? Okay, this is also an important topic for the exam where you will be demonstrating how you will be solving complex situations. And complexity on that project will be a result of having different behaviors or interactions between the components of the project or the system. For the system, we have three components: human behavior, system behavior, ambiguity or uncertainty. If they behave in a way where you as a project manager could not understand what's happening or why is this happening or the result, why we have that result, then most probably you are in a complex situation. It's difficult to manage. If the question is telling you about a situation where it is difficult to manage due to those three factors, then you are in a complex situation. In order to solve that complex situation, You as a project manager can do whatever. At the end of the day, the result is solving the situation and getting back to the normal situation, correct? As if you want to rely on the PMI mindset, we have two ways of solving that. And the two ways are there as models at the end of the PM book. And that means those are well known or common or practices in the market or in the field, and you can follow. The first one is Symphony framework, which is relying on the 5 steps here. Those 5 steps are, if you have an obvious problem, you know the cause, then definitely you will be immediately solving that cause, correct? So if you are solving the problem easily, that means you are in the obvious way and there is no need aslan to discuss the model. If it's a little bit complicated, there are some factors which were unknown and you can identify them. So you can have a correct and direct answer for the situation, which is also easy to solve. When it gets complex, chaotic or disorder, those are the areas where you need more effort to solve the situation. If it's complex, that means you did not know, or you could not figure before, or you could not forecast before, or you could not expect before that this risk might happen. Then this emerged and this happened. In those complex situations, you can use emergent practices. This is something new that you might find that people are doing, something new in the project management, so you can follow. And this is there for you to use. You can use PMI standard plus digital platform. There is emergent practices there in the PMI.org. There is PMI standard plus digital platform. This is the name. So you can access if you are a member and you can see what are the emergent practices. And from your experience, you would know them aslan without getting back to resources. And if you are getting to chaotic or chaotic, I don't know the real pronunciation. Chaotic, thank you so much. Chaotic relationship. That means it's getting more and more complex and complicated, where you cannot specify what are the emergent practices, you cannot specify what are the common practices, you cannot specify either the symptoms or the root causes. In this situation, all what you need to do is getting a step backward with those problems, trying to bring them back to the previous one, which is complex. After getting back to complex, you know what to do. You need to do maybe emergent practices or specifying what were the unknown unknowns and starting from that. When it's getting destroying and damaging problem, it is a disorder relationship. There is no clarity on whatever is happening. Those are almost near to each or close to each other. So you have this in this, but in this situation you might be having a very big problem where you need to break it down to components. Those components might be either chaotic, complex, complicated, or obvious. Once you break them, let's say that you have 2 or 3 situations. The first one was chaotic, so you know what to do with chaotic. The second was complicated, you know now what to do with complicated. The third component, obvious, so you know what to do with obvious. But, to be honest, nothing goes by book. It's for the exam. In reality, you need to do it by heart. You will not get back to the PMI book and trying to find, okay, today we have...
Because there is no any specific guidelines
Yes.
that can be defined
It's
in this
this-
situation
yes.
is fall under
Great.
chaotic or...
So it is by heart and by experience and by work or by work experience you can specify where you are and you know what to do without specifying by written notes that I will be doing 1, 2, 3, 4. This is in reality. In the exam, you need to go with those solutions if you are asked about them. The second model is typically the same as the first one, but they have developed it to be divided into 2 areas. Is it an IT problem? Correct? Relative technology, which is IT, what I call, is it an IT problem here, okay, or is it something related to the requirements or the deliverables? After that, you get back to the same model here and you specify where you are and you solve the problem. Clear? This is important for the exam, guys. Please pay attention for that. Any questions?